Hello, welcome and namaste everybody. Uh, Welcome you all in our weekly follow-up session of SIP Module 2, Holistic Human Health. So let's welcome our source person and coach brother, Akhilesh Bhaiya with us. Akhilesh Bhaiya, namaste, welcome.
Yeah, namaste, Bhaiya.
Namaste. Which topic we are going to discuss today, Bhaiya?
Yeah, we will discuss about methods of drinking water.
Nice, nice. Welcome, Bhaiya. Over to you. Namaste.
Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya. Bhaiya, whether the slide is visible, Bhaiya?
Yes, Bhaiya. Slide is visible and your voice is also very clear.
Thank you, Bhaiya. So, welcome you all. In today's session, we will discuss about the healthy ways of water intake. And in this session, we will cover about the general introduction of water intake, the guidelines, common guidelines, importance of water for our health, the quality of water, and the suitable pH of water which we should drink, the temperature of water, like whether we should drink the fridged water, refrigerated water, or whether we should drink warm water, so that topic. Mineral water, packaged water, we know that now the water is available in the polythene pouch or in the plastic bottle. So about that we will discuss. The quantity of water, how much quantity of water is required for our health, and if we are taking the very little quantity, that means less than what is required, or if you are consuming more than the requirement, so what are the consequences of that, and how to decide what quantity of water I need. Then we will also discuss about processing the water, like there are certain methods. Sometimes we use some clove or jeera or ajwain for processing the water. So that also we will discuss. Then using cold water and warm water. Sometimes the people take medicine with the warm water and then again they consume cold water. So that also we should know whether this is right or wrong. And drinking water early in the morning. So most of the people, they have habit of waking up and drinking water. So what is the right method? How much quantity we should take? And one more method is Nasa Jalapana, that means drinking water through the nose. So in yoga, there is one procedure, we say the neti. So neti, there are various types like Jal neti, Sutra neti. And one more method is there where we drink the water through the nose. So what is the procedure of that and what are the benefits of that? So these all topics we will discuss in today's session. So our body is comprises of nearly 45 to 75% of water. So on an average, if we take nearly 60 to 65% of our body weight is comprises of water. And our different body tissue, like the muscle mass, the 70 to 75%, it is water. The lungs, nearly 80% it is water. The brain, 75% is water. And the bone, which is very hard tissue, that also comprises of 10 to 20% of water. In the childhood, newborn, the water quantity is more, like nearly 70 to 75%. As the person ages and in the old age, it reduces to nearly 45 to 50%. And we know that the water is very essential for our life. Without water, it is not possible to imagine our life. And that may be the reason why most of our civilization, the ancient civilization, they flourished around the bank of the rivers. because this river water was serving a very important source for their livelihood. And at present also, most of the big cities, they are near to the river, bank of the river, or that city, the water supply is through the major rivers, like in the Bangalore, etc. We have the Kaveri water. In the Hyderabad, we have Manjira water, and many other cities like in the Ernakulam, Trivandrum. Here we have the Periyar river, that water. So like this, most of the big cities, the river is the lifeline of these cities. And the important thing is, if I say that our body is comprises of nearly 60 to 65% of water, it means if my method of water intake is not good, so I am compromising with my 60 to 65% of health. And in the ancient Ayurveda literature, it is mentioned that Paniyam Pranina Prana Vishwam Yocha Tanmayam. So that means the water is the living life of the living beings, and the entire world is full of it. So we know that the nearly 71% of our earth is full of water, and rest is the land. Similarly, like our body also. So our body represents a small miniature of this whole existence. Water is required for the thermoregulation. So that means keeping the body in particular temperature, the suitable temperature. And whenever there is a depletion of water, that you may be listening about the heat stroke and all. So that is all happening because of there is a severe depletion of the water. So water is very essential to maintain the ideal temperature which is required for all kinds of physiological functions in the body. Then the lubrication of our joints, that is also because of the water. As I told that as we grow old, slowly this the cushioning of our joints, that is reducing because the water content is reducing gradually. Then it is also essential for protection of our spinal cord. And this is very commonly, we know that the water is required for elimination of the waste products from the body, like through the urine, through the fecal matter, or through the sweating. Through this way, we release whatever is not desirable or whatever is not required for our body. So water serves a media which flushes out all these wastes from the body. Maintenance of the cellular homeostasis. So the perfect functioning of, or the internal balance, homeostasis, that is maintained by the proper water intake. The maintenance of the vascular volume. So our vascular volume, that means all this cardiovascular system, our heart and all the blood vessels and the blood which is flowing in that. So the proper functioning of this is also because of the right amount of water intake. And all that transportation of the nutrients to different body tissues, that is also through the water only. So which is the best water for our drinking? Actually, now the government is promoting a lot about this rainwater harvesting. So the rainwater is one of the best water for the consumption. So leaving the first 2-3 rains in the rainy season, because the first and second rain mostly it will be the acidic rain because of the pollution of the environment. So after that, the rainwater can be collected in a clean reservoir, maybe in a tank or some such big reservoir, and that water we can use for the whole of the year. So this is one of the best water for consumption. The one important thing is when to drink water. So one very basic rule when to drink water is whenever you have thirst, you have to take water, because your body will tell you when you need water. So that is manifested in the form of thirst. When thirsty, please take water. So this is a very basic guideline. drinking water without having thirst is not good. And again, many of the people early morning they drink a lot of water, though they do not have thirst. So that is not a right method of drinking the water. We will discuss this in detail. Then the Sharad Ritu and in the Grishma, that is summer season. Now we are in the summer phase. And the Sharad Ritu, that means during this November, then we have this Deepavali, Dashara, the festival. Actually, this is the time when in the body, the Pitta dosha will be in aggravated phase. And the Pitta dosha is the cause of our heat in the body. So that is the season when we require little large quantity of water. And in the Grishma Ritu or in the summer season, because of the excess sweating, we require little more quantity of the water. Otherwise, in all other seasons, like in the winter season or in the spring season, our body does not require large quantity of water. And the another reason is the sweating, etc., will be very much reduced in this season, like in the winter. We do not have sweating in that season, unless if you are involved in very vigorous exercise, etc. So in that season, naturally our water intake is less than compared to the summer and in the Sharad Ritu or the autumn season. So the quality of water. Here, at present, our world is nearly we have the 800 crore population, and among this 800 crore population, nearly 200 crore people they do not have the safe water for drinking. So you can imagine that nearly 25% of the world population they do not have the safe water. So still we are fighting for our basic requirements. And these water which the people get, that is becoming the cause of so many waterborne diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid, all because this water is contaminated by the fecal matter, etc. So it's very unsafe. So there are various methods to purify the water. And such methods are like the RO water, where we use the reverse osmosis, and UV treated with the ultraviolet rays treated water. So these all are certain methods which the people use for purifying the water. But again, these methods, they are questioned by the scientists and the researchers. So whether this RO treated water or the UV rays treated water, whether it is really safe for our health or not. So like when we use this reverse osmosis process for purifying the water, so one drawback of this is completely demineralization of water. So in the water there are so many important minerals, but when we purify this water using the RO system, it completely demineralizes the water, and this water becomes hungry. So it is lacking all the micro elements, and when we drink this water, what happens is it takes the micro elements from our body. So this water becomes the hungry water, and there are researches which proves that the people, those who are habitually consuming these reverse osmosis treated waters, they are lacking the vitamin B12. This is the study which is done in India. So actually, the normal natural water, if you have the pure water, the natural water, that is the best water. And if it is not contaminated, then there is no need of uh, keeping this reverse osmosis system. And if water is clean and hygienic water, that directly we can drink, because this water is more beneficial than compared to our this RO treated water. But if it is contaminated, then definitely we do not have much options. We can go for something. But if the water is hygienic and it is clean, then we should take it directly. And it is not necessary that every house should have this RO treated water. Now it is becoming a kind of thing that every house they have this water purifier system. and most of the time they drink the water from the same, even for the cooking and everything, they use the same water. And after a certain period of time, they will have the deficiency of this vitamin B12 and other important minerals. Then the pH of water. Nowadays, so much talk is going on about the alkaline water. So actually, the water which is suitable for our drinking is of which the pH is in between 6.5 to 8.5. So 7 is the neutral. 7 pH is the neutral pH, and below 7 it is acidic, and above 7 it is alkaline. So if the pH of the water ranging between 6.5 to 8.5, that is safe water for drinking. But if it is too alkaline, then it is detrimental for our health. So excessive alkalinity of water is not good for our health. So that also we have to keep in the mind, that because another important thing is in India we have various kinds of food items, and when we use the water, it is not like one kind of water we are using for cooking, another kind of water we are using for our drinking. So it's the same water we are using for different kind of things. We prepare the same water for sharbat also. We add the same water for our buttermilk, and the same water we use for making tea, coffee, these all things. So what happens is, this all water which is used for different kind of food items, so that reaction and all other what exactly is happening with this kind of water. So such a vast study is not done. So it is best that we should use the water which is ranging from this 6.5 to 8.5 pH, and not too acidic or not too alkaline. So this is very important. And then the temperature of the water. Normally our body temperature is 36.8 degrees centigrade, or 37 roughly. So water which is just 5 to 6 degree less or above than our body temperature, our system can easily accept that water. But suppose if it is very chilled water we are using, like the cold drinks, etc., which is very chilled, or sometimes directly fridged water, refrigerated water we are taking, which is having temperature very low, maybe 10 degree, 15 degree, like that. What happens is, our body's temperature is 37, and when we are using the water which is very much different from our body temperature, the body has too much stress to digest or to process this water. Similarly, if we are using very hot things, like sometimes the tea, coffee, very hot, the people prefer very hot coffee, very hot tea or soup, etc. So again, when the temperature is very high, the body has too much stress to accept this kind of liquid. So it is better that it should not vary too much from our natural body temperature. That water will be safe for our drinking. Then the mineral water. So many important elements like the calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, these all which are essential for our health. So what happens is, this mineral water is again, it is treated with the reverse osmosis process. So that is completely lacking these important elements, and that water is not very safe for our drinking. Then the packaged drinking water. Actually, the senior people can easily understand that just nearly 20 years ago, there was not much of use of this packaged drinking water. Most of the time, we used to carry our water bottle, or whenever we are traveling for a long journey in a train or buses, even for the 10, 12 hours or whole day. Usually the people, they were having the water bottle or a big water bag. But now it has become a kind of things that no one will carry their water bottle, and everyone will purchase this Kinley or Bisleri or this kind of water, or sometimes it is available in the small plastic pouches, polythene pouches. Actually, this plastic bottle they contain one chemical, it's bisphenol. Generally, we say as the BPA, bisphenol A. And this chemical is known for a lot of health hazards, including the hormonal regulations and the damaging our um, reproductive system. So such kind of very damaging effect it is having. And what happens is the people not only just when they are traveling, but on the regular basis, they are using this plastic packaged water. So now even in the houses, now there is a supply of these plastic cans and continue, it is become a kind of things that every houses, including some city area, I have seen it, that they are supplied with this 20-liter jar, and that these all things, it contains microplastics and these all harmful chemicals. And another thing is it is lacking all the important essential micro elements, micronutrients which are required. So continuously when we are using this water, so there may be side effects or there may be some kind of health issues in long run. The another thing is when we are taking this tea, coffee, etc. in a plastic this cup or this like the packaged juices, etc., which are there in the plastic bottles or the plastic polythenes, this kind of. So it has the very this microplastics that is mixed with this liquid, and then this microplastics we are drinking. Like suppose if you are putting in a plastic cup, you are putting the tea. So tea is very hot, and this microplastic it immediately mixes with the tea, and the same tea we are drinking. So in a regularly, if we are doing this, with this microplastics we are consuming in a large amount. So that again has a lot of health hazards for our body. Then quantity of water. So how much quantity of water we require to maintain all the important function of our body? As I told that most of our body tissues, they contain large amount of water. They comprises of a large amount of water. Like I told, it's like the brain, our lungs, muscles. So these all are having a large amount of, they are comprises of a large amount of water. So too little of water or too much quantity of water, that is not good for our health. So on an ideal situation, like when the temperature is not very low or not very high, so it is in between the 22 to 30-degree temperature. So that kind of environment, on an average, an adult require nearly, male adult require nearly 3.7 liter of water, and a woman require nearly 3.7 liter of water for the men and 2.7 liter for the woman. So roughly you can say that we require nearly 3 to 3.5 liter of water on an average for a healthy adult. So again, this is the quantity of water is difficult to decide because the physical activity in which the person is involved is different from one person to other person. Then the type of body, kind of food he is consuming, and the environment he is living. Maybe it is summer season, but the person is sitting in the AC chamber continuously, or maybe the person who is involved in a lot of gym activities or physical activities, so there is a lot of sweating. So these all things makes the quantity vary for person to person. And again, it depends upon the food. Suppose you are taking more of the juices, liquid items, soup, etc. in your diet, so you do not require too much of water. And if suppose you are not taking your fruit juices or this soup, etc. in your diet is lacking, or it is more of the solid in nature, so you require little more amount of water. So it depends upon several factors, but on an average, we require nearly 2.7 to 3.5 liter of water And again, when we are saying the quantity of water, so you do not just calculate it in the sense of having this 2 liter only the water, because in your food, so many things it comprises water, like you are taking dal. So dal is having water, you are taking some liquid curry, so that also having water. Suppose in a day you are taking 1 or 2 glasses of juice, that is also having the water. You are drinking cold drink, tea, coffee. So that all contains water in a large amount. So when I say that you require nearly 2.7 to 3.5 liter of water, so do not just take it as a drinking water, because so many items which you are consuming that also contains water. So all together you require that much amount of water. Then if you are taking less amount of water than what is required, so this is very common experience of everyone, the dryness of water, dryness of mouth, and feeling thirsty. And whenever we are consuming less amount of water, then the urine color will be a bit dark. So orange color urine. So dizzy feeling, headache, and tired, feeling lethargic and tired. Most of the time in the summer season, when we have a lot of sweating, we feel very tired, thirsty, dryness of mouth, dizziness. That all symptoms we feel. So most of the people, they have this, they are feeling. Another thing is, when we are consuming excess amount of water than is required, then what happens is the nausea is one of the common feeling, because the body trying to throw it out. So the vomiting sensation will come, because the stomach, which is loaded with this excess amount of water, it wish there is a natural reflexes to throw out this water. So nausea, vomiting, and the diarrhea. Suppose it crosses the um, stomach area, then there will be diarrhea. The body is trying to eliminate this excess amount of water. Then again, there will be excess amount of water. It causes excess load to our GI system, whole digestive system, and our kidney also. So we should be careful that excess amount of water is actually not required. And if we have something in mind that if I am drinking too much of water, my body will get clean and all the toxins or all the waste products will be eliminated if I am consuming this too much of water. So this is a very wrong idea. We require only the for normal functioning, the right amount of water only we require, not excess and not less. Then the quantity of water depends upon the body constitution. So in the Prakriti, when we discussed about the body constitution, we discussed about the Vata Prakriti or Pitta Prakriti, Kapha Prakriti. So usually the Pitta, some of the people naturally they have more heat feeling in the body. So that kind of people, they require little more amount of water. Some people, they have their body is such that they have a lot of sweating. So such people, they require little more amount of water. And again, the physical activity. Suppose if you are involved in a lot of sportive activities, physical activities, so naturally the sweating will be more. So your requirement will be little more. The season, again, winter season we do not require. Summer season we require large amount of water. So the quantity of water, when we have to decide, we have to take all these factors into consideration, including our diet and our working environment. So that all we have to take into the consideration, and then we have to decide. And one basic factor which I told you, that actually your body will only inform you that I require water. So you need not have to fix some schedule, or you need not have to fix quantity. Actually, your body will indicate that I need water in the form of thirst. That time you have to take water. And when you are taking water, again, we have to keep in the mind is we should not drink large amount of water at once. We have to drink water like the tea. We are taking a 1 cup of tea and we are taking some 5 to 10 minutes to drink it. Similarly, we have to take water sip by sip, putting large amount of water, whole bottle or whole glass of water at once. So that creates extra load to our system. So that is not the right method to drink the water. Little amount of water we have to take frequently. So that is the very right method of taking water. Then the preparation of water for consumption. So the boiled water. So boiled water and which is cooled and if little warm, lukewarm water. So again, the temperature should not be too much vary. So it is nearly 42-43 degree temperature. So that temperature of water, it is suitable for our immune system. And the person who is suffering with some kind of throat irritation or having this all rhinitis, etc. So consuming warm water is good for the person. And if the person is having constipation, so again, in such condition, having warm water will help to relieve the constipation. Then it is also proved that the water is helpful for premature, it is preventing the premature aging. And for weight loss also, consuming warm water is good. And warm water is very easily absorbed, so it is good for our blood circulation. And again, when we drink warm water, the elimination of urine, etc., so it will ease the elimination of urine, so that way it will be very good for our health. Then the boiled and cooled water. So boiled water and then to reduce to little 42-43 degree temperature. So that is little lukewarm water. And boiled and cooled water, this is also very good for our health. And mostly the person who is having heat feeling, the Pitta Prakriti person. So because the Pitta Prakriti person, he will not like to take the hot things. Even the hot water he will not like. So for such person, boiled and cooled water is very good. But one important thing in the boiled and cooled water is we should not keep it for a long time, more than a day. So in a day, we require nearly 2.5, 2.7 to 3.5 liter of water. So that much only we have to boil and cool. And next day, again, we have to prepare the fresh boiled and cooled water. Do not prepare large amount and drink for 2 days, 3 days. So that is not the right method. That water is not good for our health. So on the same day, we should consume this water. And again, if you are keeping the water which is boiled and cooled for the next 2 days, 3 days, so that water is not good. And again, it will like the food we are cooking and keeping, and after after a day, it becomes stale. Similarly, the water also becomes stale if it is kept for a long time. So on the same day, we have to consume this simple method we have to follow. Then the vessel, which vessel is good? I told that plastic is not good for keeping the water. Even if you have the plastic jug for serving the water, that we should avoid. Stainless steel is again, it is non-reactive, so that we can use. The best vessel for keeping the water is the copper. And there are studies which proves that even if the water is having some harmful bacteria, including the diarrhogenic bacteria or the bacteria with Microbius, cholera, typhoid, these kind of harmful bacteria, if it is there in water, if we are keeping this water into the copper vessel, just by keeping this water in the copper pot, that itself will purify the water. So only keeping, there is no need of boiling anything. Just if you keep the water in the copper vessel, that itself the copper has such properties that all the diarrhogenic bacteria will be killed. And this water will become safe for our drinking. So there are studies, published articles like historic drinking water in copper pots still contaminating diarrhogenic bacteria. So such studies are done, and it is proved that the copper vessel is one of the best vessel for keeping the water. It will make the water safe for drinking. And when the bacteria are killed, they will again not regenerate, or they will not again they will not regenerate. So that way it is helpful for purifying the water. Then another important things which generally in India we follow, and if you have visited to Kerala, etc., you will find that most of the, even including in the restaurants, etc., you will find that they serve the processed water. So certain herbs are used for processing the water, and that water they will serve. And in the home, it is very common. So that water again, it is adding some additional properties to the water, and water becomes more suitable for drinking. So some of the common things which we are using for processing the water is like the jeera, a cumin seed. So we add just in 1 liter, you just add 1 spoon of the jeera, boil it, and just make it cool down. That water you can drink for the whole day, and it is very helpful for reducing the abdominal pain. It is helpful for the digestion, and even for the during the menstruation, the woman, if the girl or woman if he is having some menstrual this abdominal discomfort, so it will help for that kind of situation also. The ginger is again, it will give very pleasant taste to the water. And if the person is suffering with the rhinitis or the fullness of the abdomen, bulging of the abdomen, indigestion, so this ginger processed water, this is very good. Then cinnamon, so that also we can use, and it also helpful for the digestion, and it gives a very good taste to the water. The clove we use, so clove is again to fight with all kinds of parasites which are, if it is present. So that way, this the method which we are using, traditional method for processing the water. So that water is very good for drinking. And sometimes like different kind of uh, herbs we use, like the soft if we are using. So soft if we are using, so that water is having the cooling effect. So in the summer season, it is very good. In the winter season, we can use some of the herbs which are having little bit hot properties, like the lavanga we can use, or we can use this ajwain, etc. So it will help for the digestion, and it will give little, it will help for the maintaining our body temperature in the winter season. So that way, these processed water are also very beneficial for our health. Then consuming the water. So many different kinds of opinions are there about how to uh, consume water, and especially with this food, whether to drink water before the food, or whether to drink water after the food, or whether to drink water in between the food. There is a lot of different opinions, and many times the people are in confused state, like what is the suitable time to take water in relation to food. So the best thing is we have to take water in between the food. Like in a full course of meal, we have different food items. We may be having some sweet items, we may be having some chutney, etc., or some rice, roti. So in a full course of meal, in Indian common traditional Indian meal, we have several things, and all the, what we say, the shad rasas, the six taste, all the madhura, amla, lavana, or katu, tikta, kasha, all these kinds of, we have something pungent, some bitter things also in a small quantity. Sweet items, we have some salty items, we have some this amla rasa, sour things also, buttermilk or some kind of pickles or some chutney, etc. So the best thing is when we are shifting from one kind of taste to next taste. Like suppose if you are consuming sweet items, laddu or the kheer or such kind of payasam, and after that we are shifting to the salty food items. So from one taste to another next taste, when we are shifting, in between that we have to take few sips of water, not like the whole glass of water. Few sips of water we have to take. Suppose if we are shifting from the rice to chapati to rice, So in between that, we have to take few sips of water. So like this, at the end, we are going for the buttermilk. So again, before taking that, we have to take 1 or 2 sips of water. So what happens is when we are doing this, one important thing is we can appreciate the taste of the food very well. Because like if I have taken payasam, so that is still the coating and some particles will be there in my mouth. And if I am taking immediately the salty item, so the first 1 or 2 uh, um, 1 or 2 this um, ball, this grass is little bit difficult for me to pursue its proper taste. So the bolus of food may not be, I may not be able to appreciate the taste of the food properly. But if I am taking 1 or 2 sips of water, so whatever the content are there, that will be flushed out. And then I can appreciate the taste of the food very well. Another thing is when we are taking little amount of water in between the food, that helps for the digestion and proper mixing of this food. So, and immediately after having food, most of the people like uh, after food, they will just take a whole glass of water or 2 glasses of water. So that is not the right method. It will delay the process of digestion and it will create a lot of difficulty because all the digestive juices will be diluted and it will create extra load to your stomach. So that is not the right method. And again, the similarly, immediately before food, that is also not the right time because when you are hungry, there are certain juices for digestive juices, they are secreted. And if you are taking large amount of water in the beginning itself, then all this will be flushed out. Then the digestion of food will be very difficult. So the best thing is we have to take little amount of water in between the food. Then two different kind of water. In one time we are taking hot water and next time we are taking cold water. This is also not good method. And many times it happens that sometimes the doctor will say that you have to take this particular medicine with the warm water. So they will take the warm water and after just a few minutes or few hours, they will again consume this cold water. So this is not the right method. We have to try our best that whatever the water we are taking, maybe normal water or maybe warm water. So we should take the same kind of water for whole day. One time, one kind of water, next time another kind of water. That makes that is not very safe. And another thing is when one kind of water is not digested, like the boiled water is a kind of processed water. Boiling also, we say it as the pakwa jala. So pakwa jala and the normal water is apakwa jala, is not cooked. So cooked water and uncooked water. So both should not be mixed and consumed. So same kind of water, if we are consumed, that will help in the digestion and it will be beneficial for our health also. And the one method which I told is the early morning taking water. So one very basic point of this is we say it as the Usha Pana. And the Usha Kala or the time of this Usha Kala, what we say, is before the sunrise, not after the sunrise. So if you are waking up after the sunrise and consuming large amount of water, so this will not be beneficial for your health. And if you are waking up before sunrise, at least 45 minutes before sunrise, if you are waking up and then you are consuming the water, again, the quantity you have to be bit careful. Then it will be beneficial for your health. And again, it will help for the easy evacuation of your natural urges like the bowel movement and urination. So it will help in that. So, but again, how much quantity of water we should drink? This is very important. Actually, the right quantity of water which we should drink early in the morning is starts with the 48 ml. So that means just near about 1 cup or even less than that. So 48, roughly we can say the 50 ml. So just 1 cup of water early in the morning, that is suitable. But if you want to increase it, you can go up to nearly 375 ml. But again, this depends upon your digestive capacity. This depends upon your thirst. This depends upon the kind of environment. Do not make it a kind of rule that whether it is winter, summer, rainy, or whatever season, I will take the same amount of water every day, waking up early in the morning. This is what many of the people they are following. But this is very wrong, because your body is not same in a different season. Your body and its physiological functions and its requirement is changing from one season to another season. So if you are making a kind of rule that, okay, I will wake up early in the morning, many people who come and say that I am drinking early in the morning, most of the people, they do not wake up before sunrise. They wake up after sunrise. And after sunrise, they wake up, and because they do not have a proper bowel movement, etc., so they will start drinking the water. And sometimes I have found they drink the 2 liters of water early in the morning, waking up. So that large amount of water is creating a lot of difficulties for their system. So this is not the right method. So taking all factors into the consideration, we have to decide how much water to be drink. So if and again, drinking water early in the morning, do not take it as just for the cleaning of your bowel movement. It helps, but it is not just for that. Because if you are waking up early in the morning, there is a natural movement in our gut, which will help for the evacuation. But still, suppose based on the season, suppose if it is the summer season, and early in the morning itself you are feeling thirsty, so you can take the water. It is beneficial for our health, but we have to be careful about the quantity of the water, about the timing of the, and which time actually I am drinking. And again, if you are processing this water with certain herbs, depending upon the season, it will make the water still more beneficial for our health. So one more method I told is about the Nasa Jalpana. So Nasa Jalpana is drinking the water through the nose. So the yoga, we have a slightly different process. We say it as the neti. And neti is beneficial for a lot of most of these allergic problems and problems related with our head, nose, and these kind of things. Neti is very beneficial. But in Ayurveda and in the ancient medical system, we have this drinking water through the nose. Again, this Nasa Jalpana or drinking water through the nose, the timing is same. We have to wake up at least 45 minutes before the sunrise. And that time we can go for nearly 48 ml, roughly 50 ml of water that we can drink through our nose. So it will be beneficial, and it is mentioned in our ancient scripture that the people, those who are having the problem with this hair fall or early graying of the hair, so this practice is very helpful for controlling all these kinds of issues. So coming to the conclusion, like the important thing is the overhydration. Excess consuming of water, that is not good. And again, inadequate or less amount of water, that is also not good for our health. So we have to understand our bodily need, and depending upon that, we have to take the right amount of water for our health. And in relation to food, we have to take water in between the food and not immediately after or immediately before the food. Then when we are using the boiled and cooled water, one thing we have to see is whether we have to observe whether the previously consumed water is properly digested or not. And suppose if we have taken water, warm water, and it is not properly digested, then we have to give little time, and then we have to take the normal water if it is very much necessary, or else we have to maintain the same kind of water for whole day. If I am taking normal water, I have to take normal water whole day. If I am taking warm water, boiled water, then I have to take the same water for whole day. And the traditional methods like I told, just keeping the water into the copper vessel itself is very much helpful. We do not have to go for all the very high technology. Simple things are also making the water very pure and beneficial for our health. So thank you so much. And if anyone would like to share something or have any question, I will try to answer.
Hello,
Ji.
sir. Namaste, sir.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Sir, I have two doubts, sir. If you permit me, I put forward, sir.
Sir, kindly, sir.
Yes, sir. Soon after coming home from outside, can we drink water, sir, immediately after stepping in the house?
Sir, actually, suppose if we are exposed to hot sun rays,
Sir.
or suppose if we have just done some very vigorous physical activities, so we have to give little time, 15 to 20
Yes.
minutes, we have to give time, and then we have to drink water, not just like immediately outside we are exposed to the very hot sun rays. Some of the states in India, the temperature
Yes.
is shooting up to 45, 46, 47
Yes.
degree temperature.
Yes, sir. Here also in Tirupati, 45, sir.
So actually
Yes, sir.
we are
Yes,
exposed to that much heat, then
sir.
immediately after coming, we should not consume water. We should take little rest. After 15-20 minutes, we have to drink water. And again, when we are drinking water, we have to take sip by sip and not just like the whole glass or whole bottle at once.
Nice, sir. I have one more doubt, sir. How much time should I wait after taking food to take water?
See, generally,
Because
after,
it is said that after food, sir.
Yes, sir. So generally, sir, after the food, we can have
Yes.
1 or 2 sips of water. So whatever the remaining food particles are there, that will be cleaned by taking 1 or 2 sips of water. And after that, at least we have to give nearly 1 hour gap.
Yes.
So the one thing is, if you are consuming water in between the food, few sips of water, the one thing is immediately you will not feel thirsty also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because you have consumed the required amount of water in between the meal. So immediately there will be no thirst. So nearly after 1 hour, if you are feeling thirsty, then again you have to take sip by sip little amount of water. So again, the water intake is mostly, we say that you just follow your body indication. Your body will tell you that I require water.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is the best thing. Suppose after the food, many a times it depends upon the kind of food you have consumed. Suppose if you have consumed more of this flour made items, suppose chapati and this kind of item or sweet items, that will create more thirst. But suppose if you have taken some kind of liquid diets, so that you may not be feeling thirsty. So depends upon your the body indication. So, but immediately after that is not desirable. It will not be good for your health.
Yes.
Yes.
So, as per the doctor advice, soon after the completion of taking without any delay, that we can take tablets with a little quantity of water, sir.
Yes, sir. 1 or 2
or
sips.
shall we stop?
No, sir. 1 or 2 sips of water is no issue. You can take some medicine which is suggested to you. But again, see, for taking medicine, you just require 1 or 2 sips, not much.
Yeah, usually people used to ask me, sir, the neighbors also, because
Yes, yes, sir.
what I learned from this webinar, holistic health, I used to
Yes,
tell
sir.
them.
Sir, sir.
One more question, sir.
Please, please.
Some people like you, they prefer bore water, sir, for pure water.
Yes, sir.
Rainwater also. We collect and we preserve and we take water, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, correct, sir. Then one more question, sir. Does frequency of urination depend upon the intake of water, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It depends upon the intake of water, and it depends upon the season also. Like you will generally observe
Hello?
that in the summer season you do not have frequent urination because a lot
Hello?
of water. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
True.
generally,
True, sir. True.
suppose if it is winter
Yeah,
season,
yeah. True.
so
Yes, perfect, yes, sir. Perfect. All right, sir.
so it depends upon
Yeah.
the season and again
You
amount
are
of
telling
water which you are
that
consuming.
during summer, frequency less.
Frequency is less because lot of water is going through the sweating. But in winter season, you will be having more urination because the water is not going through the sweating. So it will go through this urination. So it depends upon the quantity of water. It depends upon the season,
Okay.
both.
All right. Thank you, sir. Nice. talk. Yeah.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Let's talk about water, sir. Which is
Yes, sir.
So nice, Akhilesh bhaiya, nice everybody. It's really a very enriching session for all of us. We like to,
Arunachalam ji, I think he raised
yeah,
hand.
Anachal bhaiya is also there. Yeah, Anachal bhaiya,
Yes,
namaste. Welcome.
Yeah.
yes. Can we drink lemon water or watermelon like that fruits in the summer season? Lemon
Yes,
is
sir.
good
Yes,
for
sir.
that, but
Yes, sir.
that
Yes, sir.
reduces pH level.
You can drink, sir. But watermelon again, see, watermelon now we are hearing a lot of complaints about the watermelon because of this injected this color in that to make it very red and very beautiful. Lot of things are injected in this, so we are little bit scared about the source. If you are aware of the source of watermelon, definitely you can have, sir. No issue, sir. But one important thing is about the sugar cane juice. Sugar cane juice is not very good in winter season, in the summer season, but it is very popular, and many of the most of the places in North India, I have found that when the summer is there, most of the places there will be this sugar cane juice. So sugar cane juice is the ultimate result of sugar cane juice is it will create heat in the body. And the reason for that is when we are crushing the sugar cane in the machine, like they have this machine in which they will crush the sugar cane. What happens is between the pore, the sugar cane, it has the knots in between. In the knots, we have this salty and astringent taste. So this, which is crushed, the whole sugar cane. So immediately when it is mixed with the ice, etc., we feel very cooling and very refreshing. But what happens is the final result of this, it will generate again extra heat in the body. It will cause lot of heat in the body. So we say that not to drink this sugar cane juice, but all other kind of juices, fruit juices, etc., you can have no issue in that.
In case of copper vessel, we have observed some particles inside that one. Can we take that also? Copper vessel, you have informed that that's good for health. But some particles formed overnight. Sir.
Yeah, actually, sir, it is studied that it is studied. If you are keeping the copper, this in the copper pot, if you are keeping the this water, so how much of this copper coming into the water, that is studied, and it was found that it is within the safe limit only. But the thing with the copper vessel is we have to maintain and we have to clean it regularly. Otherwise, there will be a greenish kind of layer will form in the copper vessel. So the only thing is when you are using copper vessel, you have to clean every day. If you are not cleaning every day, then there will be a greenish layer and it is not good for health. So instead of that, now what we recommend is you can keep one copper rod in steel vessel. So that itself will serve the purpose, because the water will be in contact with the copper, and cleaning the rod will be comparatively very easy than cleaning a pot. So that method also you can use. And do not worry about the copper, because now we have the idea that the copper is very harmful for our health. So it is studied that if we keep the water in the copper pot and if you are maintaining it properly, so the amount of copper which is releasing in this water is within safe limit. No issue.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
So it's time also. Let's respect the circadian rhythm as well. So thank you everybody, and we'll surely meet again for more and more service. Thank you everybody. Namaste.
Welcome everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you so much.